Please consider supporting me on my Patreon, which is linked in the description below, to receive some great rewards. What's going on everyone, it's me Lone and we are back with Fallout 4 Mod Overhaul, the series where I showcase to you the best and most essential mods for Fallout 4. As a reminder, the mods that I'm highlighting to you in this series were installed for the purposes of my Fallout 4 survival and modded playthrough. I searched through the most downloaded mods on the Nexus website to find what I believe to be a fairly comprehensive list of the most essential mods for the game, but importantly, these mods still stay relatively true to the vanilla version. In the last episode, which you can find linked in the description below, we covered the best visual, graphics, and weather mods, but in this episode, we will be looking at player home, audio, immersion, and animation mods for Fallout 4. If you're going to enjoy this video, please like and subscribe, I'd really appreciate it. And of course, all the mods that I showcase to you will be linked in the description below. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the best player home, immersion, audio, and animation mods for Fallout 4. The Rockin' Red Rocket mod by Eleonora is just all kinds of amazing. For my Fallout 4 playthrough, I just felt like avoiding the settlement aspect of the game, and finding a player home mod that looked cool, felt cozy, was cluttered with awesome items, and overall, just felt like home. Rockin' Red Rocket fits this description perfectly. The mod is located at the Red Rocket truck stop and overhauls the station there. It turns the station into an interior cell, which means that you can enter it like it was an enclosed building. It is decorated with an array of stuff, from weapons, clothes, posters, drinks, food, books, ammunition boxes, tools, and even a weights bench. It has a kitchen with a fridge, sink, stove, and an inbuilt water purifier. A bedroom with a bedside table and a wardrobe for different types of items, such as headgear and weapons. A workshop with gun and tool display cabinets. A range of containers and storage spaces. A power armor station. All workbenches like for armor and weapons, but with a unique twist. A TV area with couches. A bobblehead stand. Magazine racks. A diner-style dinner table. A display cabinet. A bathroom and laundry area with a toilet, bath, washing machine, and even a dryer. An office with a working terminal, and just so much more that it's really hard to list everything in this video. The mirror inside even allows you to change your appearance like you can at the beginning of the game. And the day-night cycle will actually affect the lighting inside the player home from the windows. Seriously, do yourself a favor and give this mod a go. I am sure that most of you out there will be able to call it home. One of the more simple mods on this list, but Lowered Weapons by Lesma666 is a really clever mod. I am not sure if any of you noticed, but in the vanilla game when your character is just holding a gun in the first person, they seem to be holding it up and pointing it forward all the time, as if they're always getting ready to fire. Sure, it makes sense for this to happen when there's enemies around, but all the time? Maybe not so much. What Lowered Weapons does is just change the way your character holds weapons in the first person view. So the gun is being held in a more rested or down fashion, like you would do in real life if you were ever holding a weapon without any threats around. But as soon as your character shoots the gun, even when you're not zoomed in, the gun will naturally be held up and pointed forward. As the mod author describes, this is a more immersive animation and helps make the game feel just a little bit more realistic, even if it's in a very minor way. Oh, and PS, this mod even works with power armor, which is just great. Time for an audio mod. MM137 created a very cool mod called Reverb and Ambience Overhaul that, in the mod author's own words, makes weapon sounds more realistic for players and NPCs, improves and balances ambience and reverb to be more realistic and lively, and increases the diversity and dynamics of in-game sound. In other words, it makes various aspects of the game's audio sound so bloody awesome. If you're interested, the mod author goes into much more detail about the mod on the mod page itself, and really describes all the specific audio changes, such as adding and altering a range of ambient sounds and reverb types to various regions, rebalancing both the indoor and outdoor ambience, making power armor footsteps reverberate more, making explosion sounds louder and more rumbly, improving the audio quality of voices across PA systems, intercoms, and radios, and even altering sounds differently according to room types. For instance, sounds within a vault are more metallic and echoey, whereas in a wooden room they're more muffled. But for me, this mod was especially noticeable when firing weapons indoors. And just to show you the difference it makes, take a look, or listen I should say, to this comparison. As you can hear, the reverb and sounds are like sex for your ears and makes the game feel so much more alive and immersive. Plus, this mod works for all the game's DLC. But please note, I've encountered a very slight bug with this mod. When you travel between rooms in some buildings, you might hear a very short crackling sound for a couple of seconds. This is very minor, but I need to mention it. I haven't been able to figure out a fix, and it goes away when the mod is uninstalled. So if you can look past this, in all other circumstances, if you're a bit of an audiophile and love to play Fallout 4 with high quality headphones, then this mod might be the perfect one for you. Now I have to admit, this is a mod that might not be for everyone, as you might think that it isn't immersive, but honestly I just could not leave it off this list, as I do believe it adds to the immersion in a very weird, strange way that makes me question my life choices. Seriously, hear me out. Illuminated billboards by Ceaseless lights up all of the billboards around the Commonwealth, which just looks incredible at nighttime. I don't know quite what it is, but when walking around when it's dark and seeing a billboard or two light up in the distance, whether it be for Nuka-Cola, the Red Rocket, Galaxy News Network, or any one of the other recognizable Fallout 4 brand names, it just makes me stare in awe and want to go explore that area. Diamond City looks particularly beautiful when all these billboards are lit up. Now yes, realistically, is there going to be electricity flowing around the Commonwealth that would allow these billboards to be lit up? No, probably not, although Diamond City might be the exception. But if you try and suspend reality for just a little bit, I'm sure some of you at least will love this mod. And hey, there's even a version of the mod that won't light up a billboard if it's broken, which does help add back to the immersion. So yes, while you might completely disagree with me placing this mod as part of the immersion category, I hope you can see why I included it. It's just beautiful. Okay, maybe now a proper immersion mod. AK Celsior created a mod called Pipboy Flashlight, which I absolutely adore. Instead of having a radial Pipboy flashlight in Fallout 4, this mod gives you an awesome directional flashlight. In other words, the light that emits from your Pip-Boy will point in the direction that you're looking in a spotlight pattern, rather than lighting the general area around your character in all directions, which if you didn't notice, even emits light through your character, which might not make sense. Specifically, as listed by AK Celsior, this mod adds 120 plus flashlight textures for both the Pip-Boy and power armor, 10 distance settings, volumetric light, 2 emitter positions, dynamic shadows, animations for the third-person view, unique light spill, and even sound effects. Fellow fans of the Metro series will especially like this mod, as it makes the Pip-Boy light look very similar to the spotlight in both Metro 2033 and Last Light. In my opinion, it's more realistic, atmospheric, and visually appealing, and works really great with mods that darken the nights, such as the Darker Nights mod that I covered in the last episode. Additionally, you can adjust both the brightness and color of the flashlight via the in-game options, and the mod author has assured that the performance hit even on older PCs is incredibly minimal. Finally, I just want to stress that the amount of options that this mod provides on install in terms of how exactly your spotlight looks is incredible, so you can pick the one that's right for you. All in all, especially if you're a night lurker and love to explore and rummage around in the dark, I really do think you should give this mod a go. Okay everyone, level with me. Do the companions in Fallout 4 piss you off? And no, I'm not talking about how weak Dogmeat is, although that is quite annoying. And no, I'm not talking about how punchable Preston Garvey is, although I strongly consider that every day. Rather, I'm referring to how annoying companions can be when they decide to walk so close to you and keep blocking your damn path. You want to walk down that narrow hallway? Nah mate, Dogmeat's in your way. You want to run away from raiders that are shooting at you? Nah mate, Codsworth is blocking your path. Thankfully, the modding community has come to the rescue once again, with MM137 creating a mod called Move, Get Out of the Way. What this does is take your companions, followers, and other NPCs and increases the distance that they travel when you bump into them and even halves the reaction time. The mod author also recommends that if a companion is being particularly clingy, just sprint into them with the mod installed and they'll instantly move out of your way. Move is just one of those mods that makes your Fallout 4 experience so much more convenient and, in my opinion, a little bit more realistic. I mean, after all, have you ever met a sentient robot like Codsworth that constantly blocks your path in real life? Of course you haven't, exactly. And we've finally reached the end of this Fallout 4 mod overhaul video. Again, if you enjoyed it, please like, and if you're new, subscribe to my channel. Again, I use all of these mods in my Fallout 4 Let's Play, which you can find linked in the description below. So until next time, this has been the Lone Vault Wanderer. Please take care of yourself and would you kindly keep fighting the good fight.